fellow BookQuesters, it is I am the BookQuester. Today I will introduce you to this good book, Fog Diver. It's also a Sacramento book, and this is one of the ones that Sacramento actually recommended, and I read it and I felt great and it was fun. So it's about 4 main characters at first, then one joined again. Hazel, the captain, a pretty girl, and Chess, the tether boy who dives into the fog. Swedish, the driver of the raft, since they ride like an airship that flies. Whee! And at last, Bia is the gear girl, and she's kind of wackadoo because she talked to gears, which is really weird, right? Seriously, that's absolutely just weird. And well, it's about the fog, who are actually nano, really small machines that cover the whole earth, and it's deadly to humans. And if you enter it, you become blind or deaf. And if you stay too long, you get a fog sickness and it kills you. So yeah, it's dangerous. So humanity, they have to cling to the highest mountain slopes, but like Mount Everest. But there's no like Mount Everest like in here. They don't even know the mountain, and they just call it the rooftop in Port Oro. So. And they're trying to salvage things under the fog, and Chess is diving so they could save Mrs. E's life. Mrs. E, her name is Ekaterina, but she's sick and she's fog sick, and the only way they could cure her is Port Oro. It kind of sounds like a magical place to rooftop slum dwellers. It's like they call it a paradise because Lord Kodok, a ruthless tyrant who rules the rooftop, that's the only place where he isn't like the king. Yeah. So bye Kodok. Only that part. Port Oro. So it kind of looks like a crown, and yeah, they want to go there. And to go there, they have to hire a coyote. And a coyote is a smuggler that smuggles things or people into somewhere. And they're going to ask a coyote to smuggle them, to take them to Port Oro, where they could cure Mrs. E and live there happily ever after. And well, things naturally go wrong. Chess, he has fog in his eye. The deadly mist, the deadly fog that covers the whole earth that I have told you, that makes humans blind or deaf if you enter it, blah, 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 blah. His right eye is full of fog. And so he has a special connection to the fog, and he doesn't get fog sick even though he stays really long in the fog. And Kodok wants him. He wants to find the compass, an ancient machine that can lower the fog. Kodok wants him. Mrs. E, Ekaterina, says that he wants it to control the fog. He could use the fog as a weapon, like Port Oro disobeys him, right? He could just use the fog to cover Port Oro and everyone will just die. Dead. So that's absolutely evil. So they must protect Chess. And one day when Chess was diving, he found a diamond. A big honking real diamond. And they could sell it and they could go to the coyote and they could go to Port Oro and the other etc. But then the problem is, all the coyotes that was in the slum, they're all chased away by Kodok because there was a rumor about a fog eye Chess. And we can't let him find Kodok, to use chess for its evil purposes, right? So, no. So they disguise themselves and they go to the rooftop, the wealthy place. And I forgot to mention they live in the slum, like the actual mountains like that. And there's a ring around it, like an airship or something, with giant balloons tied around it, and columns and lifts, and like a balcony, only much more bigger. That's the slum. That's where poor people live, and it smells bad and all the bad stuff. And they usually starve. And well, so they pretend like they're working for one of the rich people, and they sneak into rooftop, and then on the way to sell the diamond, after they try but then they fail, they meet cog turning, a person, a sub-assembly member, scientist, a good scientist that works for Portoro. They met him and he said he has already hired a coyote, and chess is very important, so he's guaranteed safe passage to Port Oro. Bum, 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 bum. But alas, things go wrong. The junkyard bosses, that's what they call the rich people in the slum who controls the slum, they're ditching their shack where Mrs. E is inside. Ditching means a junkyard boss flip a section of a slum and slide everything down to the fog and destroy everything, obviously. Boom! And so it'll kill anyone on that section, and that's the point. So they can't let Mrs. E die. And with Loretta, they're a new crew member, a gang girl, and she plays the role of a fighter. And the five of them now, they steal a slapper and they go to the ditching section. They rescue Mrs. E. And then on the way, they can't do this, so they decide that they would sell the diamond to a merchant and ask him to take them to the rooftop where the sub-assembly member cog turning is, where they can go to Port Oro. But the merchant ship they intercepted happened to be owned by Kodok. So bad luck. Shoo loser. Anyway, so Kodok recognized chess. So he wanted to take him, but the Night Tide and the Amber Rose, mutineer warships, helped them and saved them. And when they realized that chess, the Fogwai, was the package that they were here for, they took them and they began to go. But Kodak's ship, the Predator, was really, really fast, though very dangerous. And they finally make it to Port Oro, framed by the sun like a crown. And it's a happy ending, and it also says it's going to be continued by the last compass. Bum, 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 bum. I think it's gonna be fun. And I've read it, of course. Read this book. It's fun and very good. Like always, your BookQuester, Aaron the BookQuester.